Today we're doing something a little more in-depth, a full comparison between three of the most popular cordless circular saws in the mid-range 18-volt category. The DeWalt DCS391, the Bosch GKS 18-volt 57G, and the Makita DSS611Z. Each of these saws sits in roughly the same price bracket. They're all powered by 18-volt batteries, all use brushed motors, all support 165mm blades, and all are aimed at the kind of user who wants reliable cutting performance without jumping into premium-priced brushless tools. But as always, the spec sheet never tells the full story. The differences in weight, feel, features, and long-term usability become clearer when you handle them side by side. That's what we're going to do here. Not just a quick list of numbers, but a detailed walkthrough of what these saws actually are as tools, how they feel, how they're built, and what kind of user each one might suit best. Let's begin with the DeWalt DCS391. This model's been around for a while, originally launched in 2014 and updated the following year with a faster motor. It now spins at 5,150 RPM, making it the highest speed motor among the three. That high RPM means it excels at quick, aggressive cuts, especially in softwoods or sheet materials like OSB and ply. With the right blade, it feels like it wants to glide through the work. DeWalt's design philosophy here is obvious. They want performance and speed in a compact, cordless body. It's also the lightest of the three in real-world use. With a battery, it weighs around 2.9 to 3.2 kilograms, depending on the pack. That's right in line with the Makita, and about a full kilo lighter than the Bosch. And that matters when you're lifting the saw repeatedly, or working overhead, or carrying it up and down stairs on a site. The body is compact, and the magnesium baseplate adds rigidity without unnecessary weight. In the hand, the DeWalt feels solid and fast. The handle is slightly forward-angled with a thick rubber overmold, and it gives you confidence when starting a cut. The auxiliary front handle is functional but simple. The bevel adjustment lever is flat and quick to operate, and the markings are clear enough, though not especially bold. The DeWalt doesn't shout for attention, it just feels like it was built to get things done. Then we have the Makita DSS611Z, which is actually the oldest of the three, dating back to 2012. Despite its age, it's still a strong contender and widely used. It has a slightly slower motor, 3,700 RPM, but it's well balanced. And if you've ever used Makita's brush tools before, you'll be familiar with that smooth, controlled power delivery. The DSS611Z doesn't feel underpowered. It feels restrained and deliberate. If the DeWalt is like a sprinter, the Makita is more of a marathon runner, steady, reliable, and comfortable over long use. The weight is very similar to the DeWalt, again around 2.9 to 3.2 kilograms with the battery, and the saw is noticeably compact. In fact, it feels slightly smaller in every dimension. The grip is narrower, the body is more sculpted, and it just feels like a more ergonomic tool in smaller hands. The handle is more vertical than the DeWalt's, which some users prefer for control during plunge cuts. The bevel and depth adjustments are more traditional. Not quite as quick as the DeWalt, but they hold well and feel precise once locked. Where the Makita does fall behind a bit is in markings and visibility. The scale for depth and bevel is etched, not printed, and it can be harder to read in low light or dusty conditions. There's no rail compatibility, and the dust port is a small plastic fitting that will probably need an adapter for a vacuum. The saw works, and it works well, but it doesn't go out of its way to be flexible or customizable. It's simple, functional, and very easy to live with if you're already in the LXT battery platform. And then there's the Bosch GKS 18-volt 57G, which is the heaviest, most modern, and arguably most advanced of the three, at least in terms of job site readiness. This saw is built differently. You feel it the moment you pick it up. At 4.1 kilograms with a battery, it's noticeably heavier. And unlike the Makita or DeWalt, which feel like agile hand tools, the Bosch feels more like a portable workshop machine. It's got the most rigid body, the largest auxiliary handle, the thickest blade guard, and probably the best build quality overall. Everything about the Bosch says professional use. Its motor spins at 3,400 RPM, the slowest of the three, but again, it's not all about top speed. The Bosch seems tuned for torque and control, and it shows in the heft of the base plate, the firmness of the bevel lever, and the way the saw balances during a mock cut. The blade is mounted on the left side, which gives you better visibility of the cut line if you're right-handed, unlike the Makita and DeWalt, which are both right blade saws. That alone could be a deciding factor for some people. The Bosch has a lot of small details that make it feel like it's in a different league. The markings for depth and bevel are large, bold, and easy to see. The bevel lever is bigger and more tactile. The shoe is fully compatible with Bosch's FSN guide rails, which opens up a huge range of accuracy for ripping sheet goods. The dust port is integrated into their click and clean system, which means if you have a Bosch vacuum or even a generic shop vac with the right fitting, cleanup is straightforward. This saw is ready for a workshop or a renovation site without needing any hacks or third-party accessories. But all of that comes at a price, both in weight and cost. At around 169 pounds, the Bosch is noticeably more expensive than the Makita or the DeWalt, which are both closer to 116 pounds to 130 pounds. That price difference isn't just about performance, it's about how the tool integrates into a larger system. If you're cutting 10 sheets a day on a site and already using Bosch Pro tools with rail compatibility, the GKS 18V 57G might pay for itself in time and cleaner results. But if you're cutting fence boards or plywood now and then in your garage, it might be overkill. So where does all of this leave us? The DeWalt DCS391 is the fastest, lightest, and probably the best value for someone who wants speed and simplicity. It feels strong, moves quickly, and works well with DeWalt's robust XR battery lineup. The saw is straightforward with solid build quality, and it's ideal for general construction, decking, or renovation work where speed matters more than fine accuracy. The Makita DSS611Z is the most compact and comfortable. It's the saw you'll want in your hand if you're cutting a lot of framing timber in awkward positions or doing smaller finish cuts that don't need rail accuracy. It's also the best pick for anyone already deep in the Makita ecosystem. The performance is predictable, the ergonomics are excellent, and the price is hard to beat for the quality you get. And then the Bosch GKS 18V 57G is the heavy-duty option. Slower, heavier, but full of thoughtful features for accuracy, cleanliness, and system integration. It's the only one here that plays well with guide rails. It's also the only one with a left side blade for better cut line visibility. If you're working with large sheet materials, care about straight cuts, and want a more robust workshop-grade tool in a cordless form, the Bosch is easily the most capable, but also the most demanding in terms of size, weight, and cost. Each of these saws makes sense for a different kind of user. None of them is the wrong choice, but one will be the right fit depending on how you work, what you're cutting, and what you already own in terms of batteries and accessories. Thanks for watching this deep dive. If you've got hands-on experience with any of these saws, or if you use all three, let me know what you think in the comments. Your feedback always helps others make smarter choices. And if you're considering moving up to brushless models or thinking about adding guide rail support to your workflow, I've got some upcoming videos that cover those topics too. Stay tuned.